Alrighty, welcome back. Hi. We are on episode 3 of my little talks and just telling guys about my thoughts. Clicked on this video because it sounded kind of interesting to you. Maybe you've watched some of my other self-help, kind of like self-guidance videos and stuff like that. But today I wanted to talk to you guys. I was trying to think of where I want this video to go title-wise, just so it kind of gets the point across. And there's so many different things that I thought that could fit for this topic. But I guess my main point that I want to talk about in this video is finding the strength and motivation in hurt and pain that you go through and different things in life that you go through. So today I'm actually going to be talking and discussing with you guys a topic that I haven't really talked much about. And this one is going to be specifically about friendships and growth. You might think where do those two correlate, but I'm going to just give you guys some examples of what I'm personally experienced, how I'm reflecting on my feelings about this. So I'm not going to get into details of what I am going through story-wise, things like that. It's just kind of going to be, I'll give you some examples. I need to organize my thoughts a little bit when it comes to this. I didn't even script this at all. This is just literally, I sat down, I've been wanting to make this video and just talk. And that's why we're here. Recently, I have been experiencing a surge, I guess you would call it, in friendships ending, and specifically very close friends ending friendships with me. And also me ending friendships with them. This one's a tough one because while it sucks that I have to be dealing with this, at the same time, I'm really, really proud of myself for how well I've been handling this, because I just know that 2 years ago or 3 years ago or even 6 months ago, I don't know if I'd be handling it the same way as I am now. Back in 2021, I would say. The end of 2020, start of 2021, I was dealing with something really, really heavy, and I just had a severe depression, and I got myself into therapy. I was, going through all that. And at some point I really hit rock bottom, and I thought to myself, what can I do more to get me out of this? There's so many things that people say that you need to do, and just kind of like, oh, you need to be doing this, you need to cut out this. And I have been doing everything that I can. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't party, I don't make bad decisions when it comes to stuff like that. I don't sleep around with random people. I'm journaling all the time. I'm exercising, eating good, getting enough sleep, doing everything I can. And I just could not get out of this. And it was so tough for me. And I know that so many people are like, oh, there's so much worse things in the world, but does it really matter? Honestly, if you're dealing with stuff, allow yourself to deal with this, allow yourself to handle it, and don't focus on what everyone else is dealing with, honestly, because the most important thing is that you're fine and you do what you need to do to take care of you. And I mean, thankfully I got out of it. It took me probably like 7 months to officially finish therapy and everything. And yeah, I've been good. I haven't been seeing my therapist at all. And she said that I have successfully completed therapy, so that was great. But during that time, I remember that I found myself always telling people, it doesn't matter if I even knew them all that well, people I would just meet, I would like trauma dump on them, tell them my whole life story, this is what I'm going through. And I didn't understand why. And I used to be such a private person, just like keeping things to myself. Yes, I'd share certain things, especially my YouTube channel, that's different. But for the most part, I would start telling everybody everything. And I didn't know why I was doing that until I found out it's most likely because I was trying to this was my brain's way of processing things, and I was trying so hard to make connections with people and to find somebody who can relate to what I was going through at the time. It's not necessarily like I wanted these people to feel bad for me, it's just I wanted someone to understand me and what I was dealing with. And obviously this hindered a lot of potential relationships that I could have made with people, whether it was through friendships or romantic relationships or even dating and stuff like that. I mean, I wasn't really dating at the time anyways, because I knew I wasn't in a good place, but it's just in general, you're really hindering yourself from making positive connections with people when you're still healing. So I just found myself at a point now that I realized that I'm not doing that anymore. And especially for the recent things that I've been going through, I'm not going and telling everybody I meet about, oh, this is what I'm dealing with. Like, even at work, I haven't told my coworkers what's going on, because it's, at the end of the day, it's just, it doesn't bring anything good. Like, I go to work, I do my job, I do what I need to do. I'm friendly, I'm a good team player, and I get my work done, and that's great. I don't need to go and tell everybody my whole life story and like, oh yeah, by the way, this is everything that's going on in my life, and this is what this person said and that, and it's just not important. So it just, yeah, it sucks, but it makes me feel better about myself that I don't feel like I have to tell everybody everything. Like, again, I'm not going to tell you guys in detail the story, but it could help just to talk about it now on my YouTube channel. The only thing that I have done is write about it a lot. So I have 2 friendships that I recently, things ended kind of thing. One of them was a friendship of 6 years. This person I would talk to every single day, tell everything to, and I can't really explain this without going into detail of the circumstances, but it's also personal. And yes, I've shared it before. I mean, it's no secret on my YouTube channel that this happened, but I never talked about it. I don't know if that makes sense even, that yes, it's on there. If you dig back far enough, it's nothing bad, but at the same time, it is personal. With this friendship, it was hindering a lot of different things in my life. So for example, I heavily relied on this person to make a lot of decisions in my life, and always asking opinions, and just really having this person to lean on all the time. And not that they were a bad person, because they were a really great person. Hi, Daisy. And I thought to myself, like, am I starting to have regrets on how things went and the decisions that I made? But in reality, no, I don't. I'm really, really happy about the things that happened in the past, but things were so good, things were so great. I just knew that if this ever ends, it's gonna be for it being not good. It's not just because, hey, this just isn't working out. And unfortunately, that is what happened. So it really sucked, and it just gave me a really bad feeling about myself. But then I realized, you know what? Has nothing to do with you. It's always not personal. But for the main part, I've been doing really well. And yeah, I still cry about it. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, I cry about it quite a lot, especially if I'm listening to sad music, if I'm by myself, if I'm on my runs, whatever it is. And that's kind of sad, but it's it's my way of healing, and it's super recent. This is about a month ago of things ending. I would say probably 2 days after that, another friendship ended, which this one I'm specifically for sure not going into detail, because I know that this person is looking for any reason to be upset with me right now. With things like that, I do want to say that, especially if you're ending friendships or you're going through something like that, whether it's friendships, relationships, family relationships, just know that when you find yourself maturing and just in a different place in life where you just allow things to happen, even honestly, like the loss of someone, like it's not that it quote unquote gets easier, you just get stronger. And it's okay to grieve things. It's okay to be sad about things. And, like everyone grieves differently. Everyone deals things in their own way. But I think for the most part, at some point, you just find peace with yourself, and you find that it's okay. This is life. Like, things happen in life. I mean, even just like losing a pet. Like, I recently lost my dog, and that was really hard. But at some point, you just find peace knowing that you had those good memories, and you can keep that forever with you. And I think it's the same with people too. It's just always keeping the memory of people alive. And I think that with friendships and relationships, it's hard because that person is still alive, but they feel dead to you. You can't contact this person, you can't see this person, and sure, you may try, or maybe you just know it's not good. And personally, I've been going no contact with both of these situations because I just know that it's better for me, and that's my way of dealing with it. I just feel like I'm all over the place, but it's just, again, this is why this specific videos that I'm making about healing and thoughts and all this, I don't even know what to call it. I guess just like my self-help and self-love series. It's just my way of organizing organized chaos in my thoughts. Knowing that as I'm growing, I'm learning, and I'm learning how to deal with things, and I'm learning how to handle things. And I guess my way of handling things, it really goes like this, you know, like some days I'm really up here and I'm feeling good. I'm like, wow, life is so great. And it's the smallest things. Like I had a great lunch today and that's the highlight of my day. Such a great feeling. You know, you're listening to music in the car, wind is blowing in your hair, and you're just feeling like so happy and like life is so good. And there's such a nice weather today. And you're listening to such a good song, the one that you keep playing over and over until you get sick of it. All the really great moments in life, and you know, the really little things too. And and then other days, it's just, I feel like I've not made any progress with myself, and like I'm such a failure, and like I haven't done anything, and I'm not doing anything, and oh, I'm still upset about something that happened a month ago, or I'm still upset about something that happened years ago. You know, it's just, you have to find that balance, and you have to, it's almost like a wave. You like let it come to you, it passes, and then you're calm again. I sound like a crazy person sometimes, but I think that's the most important thing in life, is just finding the peace and finding and healing a new motivation. And I look back at all the times where I was really, really, really sad and just like not able to get out of bed and not able to eat and just so depressed, and the motivation that it gave me to do so much. I mean, I look at really far back when I first noticed myself growing as a person. I'm not saying like physically, I'm saying in the way that I handle things. And I think one of those first experiences was probably in high school, when I used to be so insecure growing up, and I was just so shy and awkward and just not knowing how to talk to people. And I was so nice to people and I was so friendly, but at the same time, I cared so much about what people thought of me. And I know that's pretty normal, especially in adolescence, when you're developing as a person and you're kind of trying to find yourself and everything. And then I think right after high school, that's when I really realized that I can either be sad and be shy and not do anything in life, or go and do stuff, the smallest of things, and then turn it into something bigger. I mean, just taking the first steps into improving on yourself, whether that's like cutting out things that you know are bad for you. Most of the time, they're pretty obvious. I think for the most part, I wasn't easily influenced as a kid, and especially as a teenager too. I didn't go along with what the crowd was saying of like, oh, you should try this, you should try that. Even though I was so insecure and so shy, I knew what I didn't like. I didn't know what I liked yet. I didn't hang around bad people. You know, I always thought like it was so strange to me how easily people could just fall into bad habits. I knew on how to improve and I was learning about it. So here was one step that I already could check off on the box that it's done and I don't have to worry about. So that was when I was 18. I would say that's why a lot of times if people ask me what was my favorite age that I've been so far, I always say 18, because it was just such a transformative year. I had some pretty low lows and some pretty high highs. And that was just the point in my life, like 18, 19. So much changed for me. And this is why I always say change is so good. You know, it's so important to welcome change into your life, because you're opening opportunities to grow as a person and to experience some really good things. So that for me was a huge turning point. And I would say from ages 20 to 23 was very stagnant, and I didn't feel much growth as a person. And I think too, I just became very comfortable with the way that I was living, and I wasn't doing anything to make myself grow, and I had no real motivation, and I wasn't unhappy with myself, and I definitely wasn't depressed, but I just wasn't happy with what I was doing and how I saw myself. I think that was just, at some point, I just became really comfortable where I was at, and I just didn't want to grow anymore. I was like, you know what, this is just my life. Things are good, and this is just how it is. And then I think 23 is when really things just got like, woo. It was pretty bad, I'll be honest. And I was so excited to be 23. I remember like it started off really strong and things were really good, and then suddenly they just really took a turn. And then it was, again, very transformative for me. Like, I did so much good for myself and pushing myself to just do more and discover new things and handle things differently than I used to. And it's so funny that when I look back on it, I remember like I couldn't even look at pictures from that time. Like there was a certain time frame when I was 23. I couldn't even look at pictures. I couldn't listen to the same music because it was so hard for me, and I would cry all the time. I'm like, just the memories were so painful. And now I look back at it and I'm just like, wow, this is so cool to see. I almost want to go back to that time when I was, going through it. And right at that point where things start to get better, what a good feeling that was. Even just the smallest things. And it was such a great feeling. This is why we need the lows. This is why we need bad stuff to happen to us, because we appreciate so much of the little things of the good. And then when the really big good things happen, it's like, oh my God, how great is this? That's why for me, it was so important to experience something like that and to go through things. And I see that now with the growth in myself now. And yes, my life does feel pretty stagnant at this moment, but I know and I feel it that it's gonna have a big change, and there's some really good things that are coming. And I may not know what it is, but at the same time, when I see that people are getting removed from my life, that different circumstances are making things change, and I'm finding different motivations, there's a couple things that are coming up that I'm so excited for, and I'm so excited to even share with you guys, and you guys I just know will be really happy for me in the way that, oh my God, we get to experience this together and we get to see that new motivation. I know that not too many people watch my videos when it comes to these ones, but for me, it's just like a video diary. I really enjoy it, and I hope it does, again, help someone in some way. And it just kind of gets to show you guys a glimpse into who I am as a person and my thoughts. And if you guys want to know personally where I'm at in my life, I am happy. I am doing what I need to be doing, which is like going to work on time. I'm eating, I'm exercising, I'm finding the little things that I enjoy, and I'm also going to be having a few plans coming up that I'm super, super, super excited for. And I know it may be a little bit challenging, but I have that motivation to now get through it. It's going to take a little bit more time, but time doesn't even matter. Like, I'm so young and I have all the time to do what I want to do. If I tell anybody, it's just, there starts to be an expectation. This is why I love rather surprising, like, hey, yeah, I got this done, or I did this, and I went to go do this. This video was pretty long, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. So definitely give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave down in the comments below what you guys' thoughts were on this video. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!